So what would you say the best way is to tackle riffs and runs? Like, how does someone get good at riffs and runs?
Yeah, and I'm excited to hear what you think about this too, because anyone that hasn't heard you riff, go check it out on your IG. Here's some of those Mariah riffs.
Thank you.
No, but we've both put a lot of work into agility, riffs and runs. I think first off, let's talk about what actually makes a good riff and run.
What makes you a good riff and runner?
Yeah, to me, it's being able to be very precise when you change notes. So if you think about different notes like stair steps, like you're precisely hitting each note versus like a hill, like you're sliding through the note. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think that if you don't have, we've talked about this a little bit before, but if you don't have a baseline of pitch, it will cause you to be sloppy when you go to hit a riff or a riff and a run.
A riff and a run.
A riff and a run.
A riff and a run. Yeah, I think you need a strong mind to vocal cord connection. You know, we talk a lot about pitch being the second component for a reason after breathing, because that's the foundation. You have to know how to think of a note and then sing the note that you think of. If you can't do that, then in my opinion, any kind of upcoming singer needs to do that first before moving on to doing agility. It doesn't mean that pitch needs to take a long time to get handled, but it does need to be handled before moving on to fast riffs and runs.
That's so true. I mean, it's very true that if you don't have a good
mind to vocal cord connection.
You know, when you go to hit a complex run, you're not gonna hear each individual note. So you could hit like a 3-note trill or you could hear a 3-note trill and it might sound like it's like 6 notes, but that's just because you haven't taken the time to like develop your ear. You know what I mean? When really like a 3-note trill is, when you speed it up, it sounds like there might be 6 notes, but it's actually not the case.
It can sound way more complicated than it is. So
exactly. So that's why it's important not to take any shortcuts. Like
you gotta start slow. That's what you're saying. Start slow, and I completely agree. Like, start slow, gradually speed it up. Make sure that you're precise, slower. And then when you gradually speed it up, make sure that you're, stair stepping the notes, not sliding through the notes. And speed it up, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up until you're able to sing it at that normal, really fast speed. And there really aren't any shortcuts that people can do. I'm in complete agreement with that. I think the one shortcut is, stuff that we do talk about, and that we use with Singer, and I'm sorry to say
it's
that.
It's as good as a shortcut could ever be. I mean, it's going to get you there
technology,
faster.
Where you can literally, when you're going through the training, you can actually see your pitch, and we look for those stair steps, and it's like, if you don't see stair steps landing on the notes, then you're not ready to move to the next riff section. And then having that progression. But if anybody listening, wouldn't want to join Singer, it's all good. I think at the end of the day, they just have to find some kind of system of slowing down, gradually speeding up the riffs that they want to learn. And then, of course, I mean, we're in complete agreement that like this is also just one component. It's a fun component.
But I think it's the component that most people want to start with, because you hear an amazing riff and of course you want to do it. You want to be able to replicate it, but you can't like. There's no like easy way to get there. You have to put in the work. You have to make sure that you have a solid foundation and have structure, which is why Singer is so great, because there's a structure, and it's like what could take years to become really good with agility, riffing and running. You really, like, I'm not just saying this. If I could go back, I would have spent the money and spent the time having a structure that I could follow. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you're kind of left in the dark. You're kind of going into a blind. It's like, I had to put my ear, when I was learning how to riff and run, I had to put my ear against my CD player. Like, oh my gosh, I'm like kind of aging myself. But I had to put my ear against my CD player and slow down every run that I was trying to master. And I had to slow it down. I had to go back over and over and over. There was no structure. I was just like, it was just trying to figure it out on my own, like doing trial and error.
Having a structured approach is important, and then again, when it comes down to riffs and runs, like start slow, gradually speed it up. Don't try to jump right to the fast riff, because you'll have habits of being sloppy.
I was just gonna say, you don't want to develop bad habits in the process of like trying to get good at agility.
And anybody can do it. That's the last thing I'll say. Like, just encouragement. Anybody can do it. You just have to be willing to put in the work and
yeah, and they don't have to do the hard work. You kind of already took care of that. Like, you've created a structure, and all they have to do is follow it and just be consistent. So it's great.
And if not, then find something that works for you. But yeah, there's no shortcuts.
Right.